Alright, your second generation Cruze. Are you tired of your Garth Algar
Excuse me. What? I'd like to get fine now.
horn? Well, we're gonna make a little change to it here after the intro. So right here is the reason why your car sounds more like it's saying, "Excuse me, I'd like to get by now," instead of "Get out of my way." And that's because this car just came with a single note horn. Now obviously you'll see I have the bumper cover removed, and you're gonna want to know how to do that. So look up in the corner for the card. I have the video posted on how to remove and reinstall it. And this right here is going to be our solution. This is a dual note horn setup from a first generation Cruze. Alright, so just a little word of caution before you try installing these horns. I would recommend you get yourself a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel, and it helps to have a vise. Just to do some, you're going to have to rebend that bracket. And your stock one, the factory one, you're going to want to pound it flat, which you can do on the concrete floor with a hammer. But there's just a couple bends you need to make on it, and having a vise would really help. Just want to throw that in there before you start. And I would recommend maybe a quarter 20 by ½ inch nut and bolt. And that's all the extra stuff you only need for this. So first thing we're going to do, we're just going to unplug this horn. No special nothing, just squeeze on the tab and pull out, and here's a 13mm nut right here. I'm going to go ahead and get that off. Nothing to it. And here's your old horn. And we might have to make some modifications to that bracket. Just because of how this is going to sit, we're going to try to get 2 horns in there. Alright, so if we kind of see how this goes, it's kind of pointed away from that washer, and this kind of hits into it. Just that. It's off ever so slightly. It would be like this, more like it. I mean, it's just the way that bracket goes, it's just not gonna. We're gonna have to make some adjustments to this. So these nuts on the back are 10mm, so you can easily just loosen them up and pivot these however you need them to go. And just this connector is plug and play, just so you know. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit. Find somewhere to put this, and so I took the horns off this bracket, and I think I'm going to straighten this one out. I'm just going to put it in the vise. I might just pound down on it, or I might just put it in the jaws of the vise and flatten it. Give it a little less of a bend. Squash it in the vise a little bit. I didn't like completely flatten it out. Just kind of made her look like that. So we'll see what that does. Well, now looking at it further, I'm just looking at how that is just bent out. I need to completely bend this the other way, and I need to also take a little shave a little bit. Oh man, it's not in frame. Need to shave a little bit of that off. That tab isn't quite, it's too fat. So I keep, yeah, so I think I'm gonna bend this completely going the other way so it lines up more. Alright, so I've been messing around with this bracket. I had to do some bending on here. This bottom one, it's just not going to clear this washer bottle, so I need to add an extension to it. And if I can find these horns, I'll show you why. This upper one will fit just fine. Nice, tucked right up under the headlight. This bottom one, I'm trying to hold the camera and do this. It's just, it needs to go about here. We're a couple inches off the end of the bracket there, so. But I think if I can add a little extension onto that, get it to sit out here, maybe not touching the washer bottle. Right there, that'll be good. So I'll take that back off and show you what I get, what I've done here. So see, I cut a little notch off there, used my Dremel tool, and then I bent it back going the other direction. This bottom one, I straightened it a little bit. I think this will be good. I just got to add a couple inches onto it, and I might just take the old bracket, bolt it up to here. If I had a welder, I'd weld, but yeah, this is turning into a bigger pain in the ass than I thought. One option I also heard is getting one for a 9th Gen Impala, which should have been a no-brainer to me. I don't know, I ended up getting the one for the 1st Gen Cruze. So I guess get a 1st Gen Cruze bracket and you'll need a little bit of fabrication. Alright, I have it. There we go. I just flattened out the old bracket. Didn't cut nothing, just hammered it down. And I attached it here and here. And here we go. We will, let's see. Woo! I put these on here without consulting where they would adjust to. Okay, there we go. I don't know why this isn't on here. Okay, there we go. I will ratchet this back on. How's that look? Might have to go tighten up the nuts on the back of them horns. But we got plenty of room for this cord to plug in right here. There we go. Look at that. Might bend this a little bit so it's kind of like more like this. Okay, there we go. There. There. And we can even, because that bracket's adjustable, I can push it closer to the, yeah, look at that, there we go. We're in there good and snug. Yeah, so let's test the, whoa, Jesus. So much louder. It sounds like a real horn now. Alright, after a lot of trial and error, I installed a fog light kit on this car, and I noticed the way I had that bottom horn, it was hitting that new fog light, so I pushed her way in. It's not touching anything, but it's close to that inner structure, but I have it way in there. Like, you're gonna need to put that other bracket on there. And then I just bent this a little more, This one, you gotta kind of swivel it to get it under the headlight and then swivel it back up. So you have to go back behind here and tighten the nuts on here. Same with that bottom one. But I got everything snug. That's in, that fits. Like I said, you have to make a little notch in that. But other than that, she fits. Debating on whether I should hit that with some spray paint. I don't know. Thinking no. But anyway, so there we go. Now if you want to see how to put the bumper back on, watch my video on how to do so. But other than that, now we have a nice, let's give it one more toot here. Oof, man, that made a huge improvement. So for now, signing off. If you liked it, make sure you give me a thumbs up, comment and subscribe as always, and we'll check you out in the next video. Later.